there, my name's Liz and I'm an artist with Saint Beauty, and today we're going to do a beginner makeup tutorial. I'm going to teach you all the things you need to know to apply your makeup when you first get it, because this is the simplest makeup ever and you can look like a makeup artist with this makeup. It's just going to all go on in one single layer. And we're not going to have layer and layer and layer of makeup weighing down our face and covering up our natural beauty. We're just going to be enhancing our natural beauty. So first things first, always make sure that the foundation of your face, the base of your face, is well cared for, because no makeup, no matter if it's cream, liquid, powder, is going to go on well on your face if it's not well cared for. So make sure you're using a cleanser at least twice a day and a moisturizer. And when I say moisturizer, you don't want to put it on right before you put your makeup on, but at least put it on somewhere about 10 to 20 minutes prior to putting on your makeup. This makeup is cream based, so it is very hydrating to the skin. So you definitely want to make sure that you're not using anything that's going to cause the makeup to slip off your face. So no silicone-based products first on your face prior to putting this makeup on. I use our Stay Spray a lot of times in order to prime my face prior to, because this has hyaluronic acid in it. It's very hydrating, so I use that first on my face, and then I start adding my makeup. So we're gonna get started. I always start with contour, and I use my detail brush, and I start back by my hairline, and I just hug my cheek. You don't need a lot. That looks like a lot. It was a lot. We don't need that much. We're gonna do the same thing on this side. If you have already a pretty angular face, you don't need to come past here. However, if your face is a little bit, you want to create the illusion of a cheekbone and you want to make it seem a little bit fuller, you can come up like this and hug under, make kind of like a little swoosh there. Okay, now we want to do our forehead. Now contour creates a shadow, so anytime there's an area where we want to create shadow, we want to put the contour. So I pull my hair back off my face a lot, or have it parted down the middle, so I want to create shadow here because I want to give the illusion of a smaller forehead. So I'm putting my contour on my forehead right there. And now we're going to go to the jawline, and right here where I have this divot here, I'm going to kind of go behind that and create shadow there. There's already a lot of shadow under there, but I just want to chisel out my jawline a little bit, so I'm just going right behind that divot there and then bringing it up to my ear. Okay, we're gonna do the same on this side. We're gonna go back behind that divot and bring it up to our ear. Then I drag it down. I usually put some contour on this side and this side too. You can also, like right here, there's shadow, but you can put it back here a little bit to create shadow, because you just want to create some depth with contour. Okay, next we're going to leave this just set on our face, and we're going to add what we call our camo color. So your darkest highlight color that you're recommended is going to be your camo color, and I'm going to use the buff brush, and I'm just going to cover up areas that maybe seem a little bit like I want to disguise a bit. So if you have melasma, rosacea, broken capillaries, just troublesome areas, a little bit of redness you want to cover up, this is where you want to put your camo color. So I'm just going to do a light dusting over my freckles. I don't want to cover them up completely, but you can if that's how you want. Some people like to cover them up. I'm not here to judge. You do you. You know, I get a little bit of redness in the middle of my chin, so I might want to put a little of that darker color there. You're just doing a minimal amount, a very small amount, and while we're applying all the colors, these other colors are just going to sit on our face and just kind of melt together. This one, Freckle's kind of like a wild guy, so he gets a a little bit extra right there. He's always been dark. I like to do under my nose right here too because it gets a little bit red, and right here I definitely have some redness. Okay, so that's where your camo color goes. Now next we're gonna apply what we call the pop highlight, and I'm gonna use the other end of my detail brush, and I'm just gonna go into now my lightest color, and this is gonna be where I'm gonna just put a little bit here in the corners of my eye, a little bit out here, because these are the areas that I want to just pop. So I'm putting it in the corner. Oh, excuse me, just got into a little bit of lighting there, a little bit here, because I want to make my eyes kind of pop and stand out. So we're putting that right there. If you have a lot of fine lines and wrinkles or bags, you don't want to go up to your eyelid with it, but you can if you have, if you don't have as mature skin. Also want a little bit of pop right here in the center of my, kind of this V-shaped area between the brows there. Put a little bit down here. And I like to put a little bit right here, okay? Okay, now we're gonna let that sit on our face, and everywhere we did not put the pop, the contour, the camo, we are now gonna use our medium shade, like the one in the middle, and this is what's gonna be our bridge highlight. So I'm gonna take my buff brush, I'm gonna use the bigger end because it's gonna cover a little bit more area, and I'm gonna go down here, right here. We just want to go into everywhere else we didn't already touch with the other colors, because then we're going to blend a little bit up here. That bridge, you don't need a lot. That was a little too much there. And again, not blending, we're just putting it very little amounts in places where we did not put the other colors. And this is gonna sit on our face, warming up. And then we're gonna blend it all together in the end. But first, I'm gonna add a little cheek color. So you can either use the blush and bronzer brush, or you can use the other end of the buff brush, the smaller end, and just maybe put a few dabs of that on there. If you have more mature skin, you want to put the blush a little further back. If you have very young skin, go to the apples of your cheeks with it. Okay, now you can take the other end of your buff brush and you can just start blending. I blend with the lightest colors first and blend out. So you can start like right under here even, and just start, bring that up, kind of giving yourself a little instant eye lift. I already put my eye makeup on, so that cleans that up right there. We'll start these three colors together, those three highlight colors we put on, are what makes up your foundation. Like that is what we usually refer to as traditional foundation. Instead of lathering that, putting that all over your face, those three colors along with the contour color have become your foundation. But we just put it in areas where we needed it. I'm gonna blend my contour last and my lip and cheek color last. I'm just blending all this together. I like to tap on my nose, so you can tap, you can swirl. When I get up here, I usually swirl. If you have more mature skin, you know, you might want to tap it in. But I like to swirl, and I swirl up and into my hairline. But we're just kind of blending all these colors together here. I bring that down a bit here. I think I'm gonna just blend that a little bit better right here. Can't tell because I'm looking in the camera, but it seems like it's a little bit brighter than usual. Okay, now I'm gonna flip this back over and we're gonna work right here. We're gonna blend the blush and the contour together now. I buff this line out. I don't completely take it away. I just buff it out. So it's still there, but it's not a harsh line. Same on this side. I have a little bit more blush on this side than I do on this side, don't I? I'm just gonna buff that line out. Taking that up and back. Okay, maybe we'll even this out a little bit. You can either blend that out more, or we can add a little bit more over here. I'll just add a little bit more for sake of time. We're running out of time. I don't want to make this too long, but because it's really a fast process once you learn it, but it does take a little bit of time. You can also, you know, a little bit more advanced, but you can also contour your nose. Just dab into it. This is going to be a very light layer down my nose right here. Kind of coming from my brow and down, staying on the top of my nose. And you just want to imagine a really small line. Then some here and here. And then you can kind of take this brush and just work it out. Just kind of buff it out a little bit. And then I like to take my lightest color, my pop color, and just draw a little line down the center of my nose. Dabbing a little bit here. And then again, just buffing that out. You want the appearance of a long, slender nose. This technique is for you. Okay, so now we're gonna add an illuminator. So I like rose gold, I use it a lot. I'm just gonna take it and dab it on the high points of my cheekbones here. Just to add a little bit more pop there. You can also add it right here, down here. We're gonna add a lip and cheek color here called Desert Sunset to our lips. And then you can always go back into that illuminator and just do a little tap there in the center, give a little bit more fullness. Again, like right up here, just gives your lips a little bit more fullness. And then we set it and we are done. So I'll just use my Stay Setting Spray and I'll spray all over my face. Comes out, make sure you shake it because it does come out in big droplets. So the more you shake it, the more it'll come out like a mist. So that is done now. If you tend to get oilier, you can always use a pressed powder. We have a powder called Vanilla Dust, and comes in a tin too, just like the rest of these. It would just slide right in your palette, and you can just, after you use a setting spray, go back over in your oily areas and press that powder into those areas. And that's it. We're pretty much done. If you want to add a bronzer, do that before you set, but you can add a bronzer just to kind of the areas of your face where the sun would normally hit it. And you're pretty much done. I hope that this was super helpful. And if you have any questions, don't hesitate to send me a message, a DM. I'm happy to help. And if you haven't been color matched and you need color match, please feel free to fill out my color match link in my bio or just send me a DM. Okay, have a great day.